Hello, and welcome back to another episode of yet another LARP podcast. It's actually not welcome back, it's welcome to our brand new home on YouTube.
Our forever home.
Well, maybe, unless we decide to go back to Twitch. But
Yeah, we want to try YouTube out, don't we? So that's why we're here.
yeah, at the moment, YouTube is going to be our new forever home. And we'll see how it goes. So, hello, YouTube. Apologies, there's probably going to be even more technical problems than usual because it's brand new.
We thought it'd be a very easy transformation, didn't we? But it seems a bit. There's a few spanners being thrown in the works already.
It's a little bit more janky than Twitch.
What is yet another LARP podcast streamed without a few spanners in the works? You know?
Well, yeah.
We managed to find them somehow, so...
Very true. It would be a very sad day, the day that nothing goes wrong at all. Luckily, so far, everything that's gone wrong has gone wrong before the stream.
True. True.
Yeah, so here we are. We are going to have a little chat about E3 today, which is vastly approaching. E3 Summer Solstice 2023.
Extremely fast approaching. Scarily fast. I'm not mentally prepared.
Have you bought a ticket yet?
Yeah, I did it just before the... Right, hold that thought.
Are you checking that you've got a ticket?
I'm 90% sure I have.
Oh no.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I did it just before some sort of time.
I bought mine maybe 3 days ago. I can't remember when.
I'm booked in.
He's booked in. He's going. That's good. That could have been a disaster.
Yeah, is it too late to book online now?
Yes. The deadline was Friday.
So you have to do it on the gate, which isn't actually an issue, is it?
It's not. It just takes a bit longer. And is it another $5 again?
Well, it's just top bucks, isn't it, for tickets on the door? Yeah, I think it goes up by a $5 or a $10 if you're paying on the door. And then you got to wait a bit longer for your player pack, right? Because they won't have that prepped straight away.
Yes.
I'm guessing they won't get that done till sort of later Friday.
Yeah, I guess it's still done in time for player packs, though. Like the general
I'd
release of
imagine
player
it
packs.
have to be done before Friday timing. I'd imagine. I don't know the like capacity of players that turn up on the gate. You know, I don't know how many players turn up on the gate and be like, buy their ticket then. Yeah. Is it?
I don't reckon it's very many. I think as a whole, people are probably quite organised when it comes to the ticket.
Could well be.
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, it's a bit of a... I don't know. We'll see.
But yes, that's what we've got on today. We're going to talk about E3. It's going to be a lot more relaxed and have much less structure than our usual stuff, and that is saying something.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be a random chats about what we're getting up to, what we plan to get up to, when we're getting there, what we're doing when we get there, and I guess what we hope comes out of the event. We can have a little look at some of the wins, perhaps, to see what's going on.
Yeah, I'm not going to make any promises on the wins because I'm just going to casually look at one, and if it looks interesting, I'll bring it up. If it doesn't, we're not going to talk about the wins. Because I remember last time I was like, no, let's talk about the wins, and it just suddenly went a bit crap.
So if anyone's watching and can comment on YouTube, if there's anything you want to tell us about or ask us to have a look into, or just
what are you excited about, maybe?
Yeah, what you're excited about, what you want to get up to. Is it your first time? Have you been before? I know we have a lot of first timers coming in the Yelp community, our little Yelpers.
Yeah. We got a few new players, which we're excited to. One, we're excited to meet some friends, and two, we're excited to be there for their sort of like first event and see the look of wonderment on their eyes when they step into the... Is wonderment a word? As they step into the world that is Empire LRP.
Bewilderment.
The bewilder wonder of craft. So, yeah, I guess that's it. I've already lost my trail of thought.
How's your week been, Matthew?
How's my week been? It's been okay. It's been okay.
That's big. That's really good from you.
Yeah, I've earlier on today. I've had a busy weekend, but earlier on today I was a bit like, oh, I've got to start getting ready for E3.
Mm-hmm.
And as always, there's a lot of icy prep that I want to do and I never do, and I haven't done that. I'm going to have a busy week this week anyway, so I'm hoping to get everything packed Tuesday.
Yeah.
And yeah, I might try do some prep. There's a couple of rituals I sort of wrote on the fly last event, and I like to kind of type them out properly and print them, put them in my book just so I can read them easier because my handwriting's terrible. So I should be trying to sort of do that, which maybe I can have a potter tonight, or I don't really know. I don't know when to do it. I've been so distracted with other life stuff. I haven't really given Empire a thought until 25 minutes ago when we started this prep for the live stream. So
fair. I know that I need to definitely probably wash and repack everything, absolutely everything for me too, because it was just bundled into the garage. It's
a long road to E3, but also it's extremely short because it's in a few days. So mentally, it feels like a long way away.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'm at. How's your week been, Mark? Where are you at with Empire prep?
I'd say even more behind than you, if that's possible. I've done nothing. Do you know what? Actually, I need to do all of what I just said. Like just pack everything. I've got some upgrades for the car. I'm hoping it's not going to be too hot of a weekend because I don't want to die in the car. But I've got some. We were cleaning out my parents' loft the other week, and I found some real thick sponge, like furniture sponge. So that just needs to hoover down, and then I'm gonna just throw a sheet on top of it, and that is gonna be one hell of a comfy bed.
If we're talking about sponges, I've acquired some garden furniture cushions, which this week is my job to kind of cut and shape, and I'm going to layer it on top of my current mattress because
nice.
I'm not going to sleep on that mattress otherwise. So yeah, big foam upgrades for the
right. Well, I'm hoping mine's gonna fill the gap in the car. The issue I'm gonna have is where I'm gonna store all of my stuff. I think I'm gonna have to move it to the front seats.
Yeah, I mean that is an option. Of you could just obviously when you're sleeping in the back, you can chuck everything in the front.
Yeah, it's either that or I might be able to get it down the side of me, so it'll be snug, but it will go in. But last time I used 2 of my boxes as the base of the bed, which I may have to do again. I need to try it. I need to try it before I go, because otherwise I'm going to turn up with a load of foam and a load of boxes and a load of bedding. I'm just going to end up sleeping under the car. But other than Empire prep, the weekend's been all right. We're in the market for a new bed. That has been tough.
Double bed, Sam. Bed for the car and bed for home.
Yeah, definitely. Our main issue, right, is we want to go up from. So we've got a double at the moment, and we want to go up to at least a king. But we are feeling a bit frivolous and probably going for a super king because it's like another 50 quid.
Mate, bigger the better. That's what I say.
Yeah, but it's so big. That's all we're gonna have in the bedroom.
Yeah.
But then, what else are you doing in there?
Sleeping.
Other than hanging out in a bed.
They call it a bedroom, not a hangout room, don't they?
Nah, it's not the kitchen room.
Yeah. So I would say go bigger the better. Me and my missus, when we were first looking at our bed, we set we were led down in a king, like a super king, and I remember I couldn't touch her. She was over there. It was massive, and I'm pretty sure that's the bed we ordered. And what turned up is not what that is.
Oh, really?
So and that was 7 years ago. So
it's nearly time then. Nearly time for an upgrade. We've had this one for almost the entire time we've been together. Which
the amount
is
I've paid for
years.
that bed, I feel like I need to get 20 years out of it. So
I think they only go for 10 maximum, mate.
Yeah, I mean
that's what they tell you. So you buy another one.
I mean, I can't sleep well in that bed, so I wouldn't mind getting a new bed. Maybe that's what I do. Maybe I save up for a new bed.
Yeah. But anyway, that's enough bed talk. Let's talk about actual LARP things.
Can we? Yeah. So we kind of briefly touched on some of our YAMP mates are coming for their first event, which is it's kind of been nice to see it in our Discord. We do have a Discord for anyone watching and would be interested in just joining a really lovely community. There's going to be a link somewhere, so look for it.
I was about to put it in the chat, but I can't open Discord without messing up our cameras.
Okay, so I can do that, and I will do that in a bit. It will be in the chat. If not, it's going to be in the description of this live stream if you're rewatching it. So yeah, going back to that. So we've got some people in there who are just there's a kind of a bit of a buzz going on about, I guess. Well, I'm feeling a bit of a buzz from them coming to their first event, and it's making me a bit more excited, which is nice. Because at the moment, I'm just dreading having to think about stuff going into this event. It's not like me to sound depressing about LARP, which I go to, even though it is. So yeah, they've got a buzz on, which I'm excited for them, and also excited to meet them because they're cool bunch of cats. And yeah, I think this event, I guess we'll talk about this event. So this event, we quite a few of our hall mates, I don't know if the decision changed, but the last event they decided they didn't want to come to this event because of the temperature, right?
Yeah.
Unless I've got this completely wrong.
Yes.
So last event was extremely hot at points, and they just said, "Do you know what? I don't want to go through this again, so I'm just going to skip July E3." I don't know what the weather's looking like this coming event, but it meant we've kind of lost the majority of our hall now, haven't we? There's going to be a couple of people hanging about in the hall because kind of a chunk of them have moved on to a different nation. So yeah, it's going to be less of a group of us now. So I feel like we're going to be a bit nomadic this event, possibly, Mark.
Yeah, I think so. There's going to be, I think, a lot of movement for us for sure. Not necessarily movement, but I think we're going to just be spending time elsewhere.
Yeah, which is positive and good for us getting out.
Oh god, yeah. Sorry, I'm just checking. I'm just trying to check the weather for the weekend after you mentioned it.
I had a look earlier, and it was like drizzle Saturday, I think. So yeah. So yeah, going back to this event. So I feel like maybe a bit. I always have a goal in mind, and it never goes the way I want it to. So, and this is normally me trying to be more social, in character social, and get around doing more, which never happens. But that's what I want to try do, and I'm hoping maybe being a bit nomadic, we're going to do that. So whether we latching on to the coven a bit more, because a couple of those coven members get around. And that's handy. I was talking to Urgel, who's one of our cover members, and he was literally just walking around, like stopping people in the street and being like, "Hey, do you want a ritual doing?" And they were like, "Oh, okay." And if you're charging to do rituals, you're making a bit of coin off it, and that's a good way of just. And he, like, I'm guessing throughout the weekend, he must have done like 20 or 30 rituals. So, yeah, I wish I could do that. Maybe I could. I just got to.
The thing is, we can. You mentioned having to write some more ritual text and stuff. That is something technically we could do when we get there on Thursday.
Yeah, the only reason why I want to do it sooner is because I want it typed up.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're absolutely right, Mike. Like, so again, going back to the event, we're gonna get there. Probably, I'm guessing like 4 or 5-ish on the Thursday. Probably. So then we're just going to have a chill out and maybe just head to the forge. That's a perfect opportunity to maybe just spit some ritual ideas.
Yeah. I mean, we say that if it's anything like the forge was the last time I went, it's gonna be.
It's
chaos.
a time thing, isn't it? The forge. You know, like last time I went to the forge, it was like 10:30, 11 at night, and it was heaving. But I mean, if we got there for like 5, 6, it might be a bit better.
Get a good seat. Is that there's quite limited seats in there these days? I think, isn't there? Now they've sort of minimized it quite a lot. I remember my first. Well, I'm sure it was the same for you because we went to roughly the same event, but they didn't even have the second floor when I started. That had already gone.
Yeah, I never saw the second floor.
No.
Yeah, they kind of maybe they've done away with seating, but there's a lot more open area because like half the forge is now on the grass, isn't it?
Yes.
So beforehand, it used to be a long building, all kind of sort of walls and stuff. Whereas now, like half of the building is chopped in half, and then that just goes out onto like the grass, the field.
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot more mingling area, just less seating area. But
see, that's a shame because again, I remember on our first event,
it just gets cramped. There's loads of players, isn't there? That's the problem.
We went in there for a drink, and we were scared of everything, and ended up chatting to some people around a table, and it was really immersive. But I think they had to change it because COVID, didn't they? And now it hasn't really gone back.
One of our first events with Birchen Hall, we went on a Thursday, and it was just really nice. Like we got a table and just sat there and had a really nice time. So but. Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. If we could just sit down and also writing some sort of bits for joint for helping out with the coven rituals and stuff because they always like participation. So we could do something along those lines.
Yeah. That would require me writing stuff though, and that is effort. I'm more than happy participating. Just like tell me what to do, but don't expect me to say anything.
Well, I mean, maybe this what we could do, like with the coven, is here's an idea for coven people. Not that anyone's watching, but they could just write up some text, right? They could write a rune, a little spiel about it, print off a load of bits of paper, and they just hand them out to people. They go, there you go. You participating? Here, read this rune out.
Yeah.
Bingo. It's as simple as that. Maybe they will. Maybe I can mention it. I did ask them to tell us what they want from us, and then like we could do the research and get it written down. And I think they did say, "Oh, this would be ideal to learn." Blah.
I need to double check our Coven Discord actually, because there's been a lot of activity that I haven't been able to keep up with. So there's probably a lot of stuff going on that we could jump in. I want to do.
Yeah. Carry on. Sorry.
No, you go.
I was gonna say that I was there when the ring was forged. No, I was there when the coven was started, and now there's like 30 people, and I'm like the most least. Yeah, it was almost like they were like, "Oh, Saren, please come along," and then we agreed on a, that they were bring these two covens together, whatever, to make our current coven. And I just, I don't know, I was highly underqualified for the situation.
Yeah,
and I've just now drifted back out of the.
Reluctantly out of retirement, but you are the highest rank, I think. Still?
Not anymore. No.
Are you not 5 now?
No. After next event, I could be.
Okay.
I'm going to take the plunge.
No,
because I could use those points on a potential other character. So.
That's true. That's good to know. Actually, if you haven't been to Empire before, that's a good point.
Any XP earned via playing can cross between characters, so,
as long as it's not used.
So any XP earned that hasn't been spent, shall I say? So I've got 4 XP unspent currently, soon to be 5 after this event. So yeah,
because I had XP, but I refunded some skills because you can refund one every like 2 events, can't you? But that XP that comes back, that can only be used on that character. It's only unspoiled XP.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing, but also not.
Yeah, that's cool though. That's cool. See, you always worry about like, oh, what I'm gonna do, but you always have a plan. You always have at least a backup. And I don't. I just roll up. I'm just like, what's going on?
It's because I think there's elements of my game, because I went in quite broad, and I was like, oh, I'll do this, this, and this. Like, it's a bit like jack of all trades, master of none. I'm like at a point now where I'm like, I focused one of them. I focused trying to do Senate stuff.
Yes.
There just isn't game for me there. And now I'm like, well, I've sunk. I'm like a rank 4 winter mage. Like maybe I should do something about that. So that's why I'm trying to get a bit more into that. But again, it's like if I was the only winter mage in Wintermark, I could be doing a load of rituals. But there's quite a few of us. Like I'm like, oh, where do you need me, guys? Do you need me to help with rituals? And they're like, we've already done them. Like, oh, okay. So again, like unless you're super proactive in my specific position, it's possibly hard to do.
Yeah, agreed.
Again, it's kind of like anxiety in a way, of like just got to go out there and talk to people, and I hate it.
Yeah.
So
Philip in the chat saying that they've got 12 XP saved for the next character. That's big. That's good. But yeah, absolutely right. If you save a bit up, you've got a bit of I guess it's kind of buying power, isn't it, for your next character?
Yeah. So for example, I was looking now. If I were to save all my XP, I've got, say after this current event, I'll have 5 XP, and then I start a new character, I'll have 12. I could get to rank 4 ritualist in my next character if I wanted, and I'd have 3 XP left. So, for example, after this event, I can go rank 5. If I didn't spend my XP I got now, I can be rank 5 in another year if I went as a different character. So I've only really put myself a year back if I don't spend this XP. If I wanted to be rank 5 on something, That's another thing. If I wanted to get into doing ritual and again as a different character, I could go in rank 4 straight away, with the idea of less than a year I'll be rank 5.
Yeah, right.
Which could be cool, maybe. I don't know yet.
I think
But
so.
yeah, spare XP, cool.
I don't even know if I have XP at the moment. I've not checked my character sheet for probably this year, which is bad. Don't do what I've done, everyone. Make sure you stay on top of your character.
Yeah, it's just.
I will check in a second.
So yeah, I think rituals are fun as well. Like I've enjoyed doing the rituals. It's just a shame that I've got to go out there and sell myself to get rituals. Like, wouldn't it be cool if it would be like people come up to you and like, hey, I really need a ritual doing? But instead, I feel like I've got to go, well, please let me do your ritual, because there's so many people doing rituals at that point.
Had you done that, you would have, you would probably by now have people coming up saying, hey, you're the guy that does stuff.
My ritualing is a business, and I need to go sell my business to get business. So I need to go sell myself to get business. So that's on me. But again, this is kind of coming down to the fact that, like, I just feel awkward. Like for example, I was with Urgel, my chap in our coven, last event, and we're literally walking through the bar, and every other person who's like, "Excuse me, do you have a herb garden?" Or "You look like you have a herb garden." Like, oh, let me do your ritual for you. And like, if I wish I had the need to do it,
Yeah, they were so convincing. You were like, maybe I do have a herb garden.
Yeah, I know. I started checking my player back. I was like, so, yeah, it was kind of. I mean, part of me was just like, oh, I should just follow this guy around and get some rituals with him. But I didn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's again the plan. Monstering.
Nice.
Got to do monstering.
Yes, monstering.
That is something we definitely want to do, because I think we said last time, I would love to try get a video shot on the monstering field during timeout. So I believe that would be fine to do, just to try gauge the size of the battle. Maybe I think that'd be quite cool to do. So that's kind of why I want to do that, just to show off that side of it, because it's very hero orientated. Empire LARP and maybe some of the podcasts or videos that are out there. It'd just be quite cool to see what you get up to when you're monstering.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's there's
like
not an
that,
awful lot on monstering out there for people to actually see. And I know, obviously, recording and stuff is difficult to do at Empire, but because it's time out, we should be able to get some nice, shots of orcs hiding in bushes.
I'm not sure what the absolute rules are. Maybe it's worth an email to PD. But, like, for example, we could do a video showing off the monstering tent where you get your sort of monstering brief, walking out to the battlefield, like when they're setting up the monsters. So you'll be in your EMUs or your monster blocks, and they'll chuck you in a certain port, and you can then kind of get an idea of the size of the monstering armies that side of the battle. So I'd quite like to do that, but obviously I don't want to. Conscious about video, and obviously videoing at Empire it's got set rules around it. Now I see that as in character videoing, which we fully respect, and I would just like to know if we could do some videoing in the out of character area. Because also another thing with monstering, right? 99% of people are going to be wearing masks, so I would hope that would be like people would be more comfortable with seeing a camera. Again, purely out of character. This wouldn't be during the battle. This would just be the lead up to the battle when the monstering are very much out of character, waiting for the players to come on the field. So I'd be up for giving that a go and trying that. But we don't know. We'll have to see.
I think it would be cool to do sort of like a David Attenborough documentary style, with one of us filming and the other one sort of leading the camera around like the monster tent and the monster field and stuff. Yeah, we should go and chat to them.
Yeah, it's definitely a conversation. I mean, again, we probably left it a bit late for this event, maybe to email them. But
this would be fine. They'll be so rushed off their feet. They'll be like, "Yep, sure, come on, whatever."
I'd love to, yeah. So yeah, it's definitely worth sending an email and be like, "Would it be cool here?" Because again, like, as long as we respect the boundaries of the rules they have in place, which I think we're sort of outside of those rules because it's out of character.
Yes.
Although maybe no, maybe we are still breaking rules, because I think originally when they're talking about videoing, wasn't it, like the videoing would have to be in this safe space, which was a tent, and people would have to walk up to that video to be videoed. That video tent to be videoed, so it's very controlled. Whereas if we were out amongst it all with cameras, they might be. I say cameras, a phone. They might. I don't know.
I'm not sure. We'll look into it though. Look into it offline.
Yeah.
And you'll know if it's gone well, because you'll see some footage in the in the E3 vlog.
Yeah. Someone's just commented. I'm heading with just endurance and Chirurgen as skills, as I'm finding it difficult to choose which path I want to take. Is this a good idea, or do you think my time will be a bit longer? I personally think that's a good idea. Again, we don't have to spend XP points all straight away. For example, I would say, have you bought any weapons yet? Do you own any weapons? Because that's going to dictate certain skills. If you have no weapons and you're going to go buy one at the event, you're going to buy a sword and shield, so you take your skill early, but then you get to the event and go, God, that two-handed axe is really cool. So I think it's a good idea going in sort of with less skills. Unless you exactly know what you're doing, then fine. But it's definitely perfectly acceptable to go in. Like, I think my current character, when I made them, admittedly I made them at the event because my previous character died, but I think I gave them... I don't think I gave them any skills. They just went bare bangs for the event because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I wanted to do with them, sorry. So, yeah, I think, again, if you've got an idea, if you've taken endurance and Chirurgen, are you doing healing, or do you still want to do a fighting? If you want to do fighting, again, depends what nation you are in, but you might need a pole arm, so you need a skill, or you need shield, so you need a skill. Or you just want to do healing, then you might want to take, like, physic and apothecary or something like that. So, but until you're in the field, right, you don't know.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure Vlad is in the Yelp Discord as Vladimir. So I believe they said that this was going to be their first event. So you are well within your rights to, you can spend all your XP, and if you hate everything you've done with that XP after your first event, you can email PD, and they will change it to whatever you want.
Yeah, they're very accommodating
Hmm.
now for new players, and also with existing players now. Like this wasn't a thing when we started, but it is now where they allow you to change up to one skill per season.
Yeah.
So, for example, now I've got 4 ranks in Winter Law. Like throughout the year, I could take those skill points out and store them or assign them somewhere else. So, but yeah, like Mark said, if it's your first event, you're absolutely allowed to
Yes.
reroll your skills.
You can also they call the mechanic apprenticing. So you can go ahead and do Chirurgeon stuff without having taken it. You go along as an apprentice, and then you can find out how you play that skill.
Where is this apprenticing thing? Because I've never heard of it.
Somewhere on the wiki.
Yeah, I'm gonna search it up. Because we got talking, I think, on one of our previous when we did like the Welcome to LARP thing. Here you go. Yeah. So here we go. I found it. It is a thing because I remember you talking about it. I've literally never heard about it before. So
That sounds like me for anything that comes up normally.
Yeah. Any character who has no skills. So I guess you need to have 0 skills. Either because they have not spent any XP or because they are a child. Because childs are unskilled. Can utilize the apprentice
That's a hot
ability.
take.
This ability allows them to use any skill provided they are being actively instructed by another character. So for example, you could be an apothecary. You could do some apothecary stuff as long as you have a role-playing experience with an apothecary going, this is how you do this.
Yes, I don't know if you can actually make anything though.
Well, you can utilize the apprentice ability. So this ability allows them to use any skill. So you can use any skill, providing you are being actively instructed by. So you could brew a potion if.
So how does that work mechanically then? Is my question, because you would have to put your PID into.
So it could be like a ritual, right? So you could be like, I've made this a potion with the apprentice skill. This is my PID, and this is the character that was teaching me how to do it. This is their PID.
Maybe
it'd be a bit like rituals. Like you could be like, I'm the ritualist. This is my PID. This is the target. That's their PID.
What we need is somebody who has apprenticed to let us know.
The Alp Nation. Yay. We're branching out. We'll make our own.
Yeah. So Vlad said Yalp Nation, and I'm thinking that's a quote for the t-shirts if they ever are made.
The t-shirts. Absolutely, yeah. So imagine if we could make our own nation at Empire. This is why, like, potentially another LARP system where you could just like make your own nation and just play. Okay, anyway, I'm going to talk more about the apprentice ability because I find it interesting. The apprentice can only use a skill under close supervision of another character who knows that skill. The supervision must roleplay, providing direction and instruction, cannot use any other abilities of any kind. They must be able to do the skill themselves at the time, so they do. So they can't be dying or terminal. You can't brew a potion if you're lying on death's bed.
Funny that. Can hold on though? Is that just specifically an apprentice, or could a apothecary not brew a potion if they're terminal?
They must be. I don't know how that works. This is just
I don't.
ability. So, in the event that the apprentice is participating in a ritual, then a supervisor's coven bond is used rather than their own. If the apprentice is casting a spell or using heroic ability, the supervisor's mana or hero points are used. This sounds pretty cool, Beaton.
Yeah.
Imagine if you were just like being the leader of apprentices. You could like just have 20 heroes.
Just be an apprentice and use everyone else's mana and stuff.
This is how you swing a sword. The apprentice ability exists to enhance the role-playing intuition of instruction to provide more opportunities to get young players involved in game, such as apothecary. Here we go.
Yeah, that's
There
cool.
are no mechanical benefits provided by the apprentice ability.
Hmm.
So it doesn't say how it mechanically works, but there we go.
Well,
Wow.
yeah, I like V's just mentioned in the chat. It's possible that it will just be that from what you've said, it sounds like it's just going to be the original, like the mentor or the tutor will use their experience or skills or spells or resources, I guess. And it's
Again,
just it's just a way of saying like this is how Empire works to somebody who hasn't done it.
It's like, yeah, it's essentially yeah, they're doing it with you. You can log it for yourself, but you're using their skills.
Hmm.
No, that's yeah. I haven't really looked into the apprentice side of it, so that's actually quite a nice mechanic, and it's weird that I haven't really heard much about it unless I'm just living under a rock.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone doing an apprentice, but
it's actually
again,
a great opportunity to.
We live under the same rock.
But also, you need to, by the looks of it, you need to have 0 skills used. So
yes,
so you
I think it is just
so you
for...
must have 0 XP spent.
Yeah.
So that's quite rare, maybe.
Maybe. I think a lot of people who go the first time maybe sort of panic that they haven't used any XP. So people will end up spending it before, regardless, again, on something they might not use. Like I put all mine into like hero points and stuff and basically hated melee fighting. So yeah, I get it. I get that.
Good thing in the chat means if you're getting tired of casting your Herb Garden buff over and over again, the ritual, you can just get someone to sub in and do most of the role play if you just supervise.
Yeah, you just sit in the chair and you're like, brilliant.
Them behind.
Yeah. It's a good idea.
Or just nod. Yes.
That is the kind of things that I enjoy about LARP, how to make my experience easier and lazier. And that's a great one. I like that.
Get someone else to do it. Just literally get someone else to do it. And then you don't have to pay them because they're an apprentice. And you can be like, your payment is experience. Perfect.
I do like the idea. You mentioned it briefly about being a master of the apprentices, and I guess that would only really work if you had enough XP in each of the skills. You could then be like, oh yeah, come and be an apprentice for me. But I can take 10 apprentices.
Yeah, but do you reckon, like, maybe this is just part of the academy, but could you set up like a school so you could have like professors, and so you could be like a professor of apothecaries or healing, for example, and you just have a class come up to you and you could be like, let me teach you, and then obviously they're all apprentices and you could just give.
I think that's a really good idea, and yeah. I don't know if it's part of the academy, but that is a good idea for role playing.
We can make Hogwarts, and it could all be the magical realms. So you could have like the master of
Master of Night,
winter curses or something like that, or master. Yeah, so you'll have a master of winter who's like the head subject, the subject lead, and then you could have people below that. Like, here we go. We'll need about 40 players, and we can build.
I think 40 players.
Build a magic school.
We only need 6 for the 6 tutors and a head.
You'd headmaster. You'd have head person. You could have one for each realm, and then you could have teachers below that who specialize in certain aspects of the realm, like curses or something like that.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea. That's copyright. That's probably if yet another LARP podcast.
Yeah. Could this be a player event? You just go to
like a magic school. But then would people want to sit there for 9 hours a day in class learning about something that's not real?
Yeah. We live in a world that's real for Empire, so you can spend a whole weekend doing it.
True. I mean, some people go to Empire literally and to be like accountants for the weekend. So I'm sure there'd be.
He just crafts all weekend.
Yeah.
For what?
I always think of what's that American politician? And the meme is like, once again asking for your money. I always think of Hengist. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I always think of him when Hengist like turns up at Thane's meet. Like, we need money for something. Good fun.
Top laugher. What nation are we? We are currently Wintermark. That's our current nation.
But we're going to be all over the field. So we've spent many, many years pretty much just in Wintermark, but we're sort of venturing out a bit more now. So you'll probably find us all over the place. We said at the start we're probably going to be at the Forge on Thursday night, chilling, and then I think it's going to be. I mean, I always just really enjoy going to random bars and stuff, but it's convincing you to actually stop at them, I think.
I'm trying to.
That's my plan.
The conjunctions. When do we find out about the conjunctions? I can only look at the last. Yeah, I can only look at last season's conjunctions, unfortunately.
Answers in chat if any of you know. I think it's it could be any minute. Could literally be any minute now. Are they still pumping wins out, or are they finished?
Yeah, they'll be going.
They're still coming out.
Days at least.
It used to be that they'd all be out before the weekend before, but it gets quite close to the wire. I think last event they were coming out on the day, weren't they? If I remember rightly.
Last event, but there has been an event. Yeah, because I remember when I wanted to send some IC mail about something, and it was literally the Wednesday night. Because I was waiting to get all the wins, so then I could see what opportunities we had. Because there was something I wanted to discuss, and I was like, "Well, I'll leave it." And then, yeah, it was literally Wednesday night before the event. Right, I think this is battle opportunities for. Here we go. This is for this coming event. Do you want to know the 3 main battle opportunities we got?
Yeah, go on. Just to give you an update, Matt, because you just asked about it. Conjunctions probably won't be until Wednesday.
Yeah.
In all likelihood.
So what's this?
Thank you, Philip.
This? What am I looking at here then? Battle opportunities, or is this? Oh God.
I wish I could help you, mate, but you know that I care very little about the battle opportunities.
Oh no, this is Summer Winners of War battle opportunities. Right, so we got 3 battles, obviously. 2 in Karaman and 1 in Skalhallen. Skalhallen, yeah. So the first one, so it's basically all against the Jotun. Okay, so block the mountain passes out of the Serra de Mata. That's a place, apparently. That's going to be Saturday.
Apparently, apparently the battles will only be fairly basic info for now.
Yeah.
And then they get more detailed further on.
So, prevent Fort Braden from collapsing is another one. So, is that like, do you reckon that's going to be marching onto the field and holding an objective, like the fort, and making sure the enemies don't come back and knock you out?
Yeah, well, my first question is there an opposite way of fortifying a fort? Because obviously, well, you were involved in attempting to blow some fortifications. Is there a bolster fortification ritual?
I'm not experienced enough in that. I'm guessing that could be like autumn or summer. I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay. We're getting some. There are some conjunctions out already. So Dawn has some on Friday and Saturday, and then a big one is Saturday at 11 p.m. The whole nation.
That's the skirmishy ones. Yeah, I was just looking at the big ones right now. But yeah, we check the skirmishes out. So yeah, so one battle. Maybe we're going to march onto the field and have to stop the enemy army pushing through and getting somewhere, because that's block the mountain passes. So that could be something like go to the bridges on the field and stop the Jotun army getting through the 2 bridges. Is it 2 bridges? Anyway. Then you got another one, prevent the fort from collapsing. So I guess you march onto the field, take the fort and hold the fort. Deal with the threat of the Blade Quencher's Hall. So I guess that could be go onto the field and kill a VIPs. That's got Jotun and Autumn Heralds in it.
Nice.
So by the looks of it, yeah. Interesting. All against Jotun as well, which is, I think, is good because we're doing sort of well on the Jotun front. So it's nice to see that happening.
Yeah. So that's what we'll be monstering as, in theory.
Jotun, yeah, exactly. By the looks of it, unless I've got this completely wrong, which I don't think I have, it's only Jotun.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Okay.
All battle tuners. Oh yeah. Right. Okay.
No executions then. I mean, there's very rarely executions as monsters anyway, but
Imperial
the Jotun for you guys that haven't been, the Jotun are, I was going to say fairly honourable, but they're still the enemy. But there is more chance of your terminally injured people being thrown back into your lines from the Jotun.
Yeah, the Jotun consider themselves honourable fighters, right?
Yeah, they love an honourable fight for sure.
Especially with Wintermark.
Yeah, there's always been like a bit of a connection. The Jotun emissaries often come to Wintermark to chat to Mother Thane and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is cool.
See. Winds of Fortune. Right,
I think there was quite a push for a couple of years actually, where they were, I think, trying to not like definitely try and make them playable race or anything like that, but trying to make it the Jotun more of an ally than anything else. Well, but I don't think it's come off.
It was a peace treaty, right? Because supposedly back in the day we had a peace treaty with the Jotun and then broke it. So the Jotun weren't too impressed by it. So I from my very limited knowledge, I think we're trying to build back that trust with the Jotun to then form a peace treaty, because obviously we want to avoid fighting on every front. There's a potential of 4 fronts at the moment. We've got one. The Thule is currently pieced out because we've given them some territory and let them fight the Jotun with us. So if we had the Jotun pieced out, I don't know what the Grendel and the Druge are doing.
Oh, we haven't played Grendel for ages.
Yeah, there might be like a peace with the Grendel currently, or a ceasefire with the Grendel.
If anyone knows, let us know in the chat. We've had a question actually, Matt.
Yeah.
Just to completely change the direction of the chat while you're doing some research. Brahms has asked, since it's their first event, what can you get with the starting money? Now, that very much depends on what you have chosen as your resource, unless you're talking about purely the 18 rings that everybody gets. Is it 18 still? It's 18, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to say 18. So as this is my first event, what can you get with the starting money given to you?
So basically, 18 rings will get you at least a couple of pints. As the most important thing to get you going with. But more seriously, I don't know really what 18 rings would cover. You might be able to get a couple of or one of some of the herbs. Some of the herbs might be 18 rings, depending on who you speak to.
Probably get some herbs, maybe a material like green iron or something like that, welt silver. They're similar, kind of cheap at the moment, so you might get a resource. Or there's people selling cookies and biscuits and fudge and brownies.
Basically, much like real life might seem at the moment, everything is massively inflated compared to what you earn. So the 18 rings, it's definitely more about what you choose as a resource, and there's every single resource is going to give you something that is worth substantially more than 18 rings, I think.
Also, like, I would almost say, like, what do you want to be buying with your money? And if you can see that, I guess, I mean, if you're gonna go, hey, can I buy this, then I might be able to answer that. But it all depends what we're talking about. If we're talking about food and drink, you can buy food and drink. If we're talking about materials, you could probably scrape a material 18 rings.
Well, I think they're asking. I think they're asking what can they buy with it. So, food and drink. Anything, Food. If you've got a good enough haggling skill, anything.
You could buy a back massage. There we go.
Yeah, we have to be a bit careful talking about specific prices of stuff out of the field. It's a bit of a find out in play kind of thing.
Well,
But,
yeah, if I were to tell you a pint's 5 rings, then
yeah.
that's very situational because that varies everywhere. So
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like a lot of places now, actually, it's prosperity pricing, which is you decide how much you think the thing is worth.
So yeah, and on a side note, and this is me just being a bit lame, but talking about being your first time and what money you get in your player pack, there is nothing cooler than holding those coins for like the first time. Or I still enjoy just getting a little bag of coins and jingling it. So enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I once paid 1 ring for a pint of cider in a place. I'm not going to say where because it was absolutely awful. It was the worst pint I've ever tasted, and it was prosperity pricing. And I'm glad I only put a ring in because it was horrendous. But you can get a drink for as low as a ring.
Well,
is the point of that story.
The artisans at Wintermark's got some nice mead and stuff at the moment. Some nice ciders. But what's that mead they had the other day?
I don't know, but that was rough. Like in a good way. That was a strong drink.
It was nice as well because they had 2 meads. They had like a softer one and then quite a harsh one, and that was nice. So at the moment, so what I would spend my money on, I'm spending a lot of my more of my money on sort of icy eating and drinking, which I never used to because I didn't want to spend my money on that. But like the last event, I bought a pizza for £4, or maybe not £4 if I'm not allowed to say. But the pizza was absolutely lush. And buying drinks and stuff. I actually saw someone going around selling soft drinks the other day, which was kind of cool because, like, it seems to be all alcohol in a way, whereas actually nice seeing people sell soft drinks. So.
I was about to say, like, £4 for a pizza. I'm not sure, but you're getting a pizza for something that's completely made up. You're not actually paying for that pizza, so. I think that's probably all right. £4 for a pizza.
Do you know what? It was freshly made pizza. They had the dough freshly made, and it was real nice. And originally I'd be like £4, but now I'm like, do you know what? Like Saren went through a golden age of coin, and he's very much in a bronze or wood age now.
A deficit.
That's not necessarily down to my spending, but I'm at a point now. I'm like, do you know what? Sod it. I'm gonna have a free pizza. I'm just gonna have a free pizza. Enjoy it. It's a very nice pizza. I would advertise them, but I can't remember where they are. But they're in Wintermark, and there's a sign. You'll find them. They're great. And I tend to drink in the artisans now as well. So, there's that. Nice. Just a question in the chat. So someone says you can do stuff for IC money as well. Absolutely. I remember when we were at Artisan Loomies, which is the tea house in Wintermark, and I was sat down with the Senator Rain, who's featured in one of our podcast episodes. I think it was right, and we were talking to, I'm just going to name drop everyone. We're talking to a Wintermark general at the time, and then some other senators came over. That's what sort of circles on it. And they left their tankard at the hub, and they literally turned around. They're like, "I'll give someone a crown if they go get my tankard." And this kid hopped up and got paid a crown and ran and got a tankard. So you can do stuff that I say money, absolutely. Thinking of selling some little seashell necklaces. Absolutely, I sold necklaces for quite a while, and I was selling them for like 5 rings each. They were just little metal pendants on a cord. So I was selling them for like 5 rings each. It all depends sort of what. But I think around 5, again, it's always hard to compare pricing and stuff because the economy is a bit different. Like, for example, I'd say 5 rings for a necklace is great. Maybe, but then also if you're paying 5 rings for a pint, then you think, is a necklace worth a pint? But then it's hard to really work out like that. So I did it at 5 rings, maybe slightly less if you wanted to.
A great way of getting a conversation going if you're trading with something like that is if someone says, "Oh, how much are these?" Just saying, "Oh, how much do you think they're worth?" And then they're like, I probably pay this much." And then you can say, "Well, luckily for you, that's how much they are." And then you've got a bit more of a chance to sell one. You've had a little bit of banter with someone, and you haven't had to directly say they're this much, and then that is, I think it's all about creating an environment where the person's less likely to say no. So if you don't give them an option for a yes or a no,
business tips and
they are a bit more likely to do it. I don't know where I picked that up from, but
soap
I saw it somewhere. No, it's not the soap because I've barely sold that. That was all thanks to Applebee's.
So yeah, I mean, I think you got a point. And obviously, it's kind of that point. If you've got a load of necklaces to sell, then if they're a bit cheaper and you just sell more, then you get money. So, but you got to go around and sell them, right? Unless you've got someone who sell them for you.
Yeah.
But again, going back to the whole making icy money, you know, that you can sell newspaper. You can go around selling some established newspapers for like a ring per pop. So
yeah,
that's a way of making money. And you might find someone with a load of seashell necklaces that want them sold, and you could, I'll do it for you. So,
also, the flip side of what I was saying about, you know, you're buying stuff with made up currency, so you're not technically paying anything for it. That works the other way around. So if you're making stuff for Empire to sell, you have to be aware that you're giving away stuff, essentially.
Well, yeah, and it's not always a monetary value when, for example, selling a necklace, because what you're doing is you're making game. So yes, you're putting like OC, out of character world resources into a make believe game, but it either creates you some coin or it creates you some icy experiences. That's how I've kind of looked at it. Because if you want to make money in game, you could, for example, there's people like brew beer, or there's people who make beef jerky, or there's people who make pizzas, for example. This person goes and makes pizzas. Yeah, he charges £4. They charge £4, which I think is probably actually a really good way of making some money.
Yeah.
But obviously they've got to buy all the dough and bring it in, and all that dough and all that stuff, they've got a pizza oven, whatever they bring in, like, you know, they're getting made up money. It's not like they can cash it in at the end of the week and get some money out of it, you know. But they just know that they're getting some coin and they're getting game, and they're going to use that coin, hopefully, to do cool stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
That's my take.
So, what do you hope to get done at this event, Matt, if anything?
Don't know. I want to socialise with our Yelp lot.
Yeah,
I'd like to
I think
people.
I agree. I think it would be cool to, you know, bump into some people.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool, and maybe find a bit of direction.
Maybe we can post in the Discord, like once you and I have put together a bit of a plan of what we're doing, maybe on like the Thursday or a specific time in. We could just be like, oh look, we're going to be around this area. You know, if anyone wants to come and say hello or whatever.
Yeah.
Could do that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think the main thing I need to definitely do is do monstering. Whether we do recording there or not, I want to go and do monstering, because
we'll do some recording.
Monstering can be fun, and So here we go. So do they cook IC? Lots of people cook IC. The pizzas were done in like a...
We'll come back to
metal pizza.
Sorry,
Sorry, I just had to answer.
You can't wait. As soon as someone's put something in the chat, he's like, oh god.
But yeah, loads of people cook at IC. We had an idea of doing like a tea house for ages, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, our next characters
could do it.
Possibly. We won't say where.
Yeah. Back to you, Mark. So that's what I think. I want to try to do monstering and a bit of socializing. But what's your big plans?
So I want to spend some more time in the in Conclave.
Mm-hmm.
We saw a bit of it. It got quite spicy. That was quite exciting. And I'm sure most of it is not as exciting as the bits that we saw. But I want to get in there and I want to get involved. It was basically a thing we aimed to do most of the last event, was to join an order.
Oh, yeah.
And neither of us managed to, and I want to this time. I want to join an order so I can be like, I'm voting with my little order friends. And just get involved in that side.
maybe we could just commit ourselves to joining an order and sitting in on an order meeting,
Hmm.
and just
Yeah, because I don't really mind which one I join. I like the idea of you're thinking about the golden pyramid.
Yeah, do you know what?
It's
I
the
got
golden
it
something.
when we did our vlog. I got it wrong the whole time. So
Yeah, it was the silver chalice, I think.
or the golden pyramid, and I was calling it the golden chalice.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, I just don't know.
it could still be wrong. We don't know, but I would be against joining a prosperous one. Considering I'm not really doing battle magey stuff anyway. There's not a massive point joining the rod and shield. But also it is something that does interest me as well. So I don't know, but definitely an order, and definitely want to cast some votes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be cool. A Yalp order. Should we make the Yalp? The Yalp. I don't know what we'd even call it. Yalps
I mean,
and Scalps.
technically can do that. It just needs to be signed off by the other orders, and there can only be 7 orders at once. So we'd have to replace a current order.
I think somebody in our coven was talking about one being made, but I was like, but there's already 7, so I don't know if one is, on the way out, but we'll find out, I guess.
Yet another LARP order, yeah.
YOLO.
Yeah.
Bit too close to NATO, I think. Yeah, so that's one of the things. Again, just get out and about. I want to meet new people, so if there's anyone watching that also wants to meet new people, let's hang out. Let's get a drink and chill.
I have had an invite if we're lost and lonely. Robin said we can go hang out.
Oh, that would be cool.
Which will give us a reason to go to another nation. So there's that, and we might have to take them up on that offer just to.
Yeah, that'd be good. They're in Dawn. Is it Dawn?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'm up for that. That's one. That's one event planned.
Is it going to work out like that?
No, never does.
Well, okay. Here we go. Here's an easy-ish one. What are you doing Friday?
What am I doing Friday?
What are you doing Friday? Because Friday is a weird one, isn't it?
Yes.
So what's your plan for Friday? Go on, make a plan. I'll think about it and make a plan. And we'll try our absolute hardest. I know we're giving a prime E3 vlog content away because we're going to be talking about the same thing.
Well, we could talk about whether we did it or not. Do you know what I wanted? Do you know what I want to do?
Go on.
Pub crawl.
I just get so... Yeah, I mean, yeah, we could do. Why not?
We tried it before, and it hasn't gone spectacularly, but we should really try it this time.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, do you know what I'd absolutely love to? Get in on that cheese board club.
Oh, yeah. Cheese board for a throne or something, isn't it?
I'd love cheese.
I guess the tickets are probably already gone.
Where's that place that does like charcuterie boards? I'd love to go there. I'm pretty sure there's like a pub that just does food and that's it.
Maybe Navarre?
I don't know. I wish. We should go to that Navarre bar. Navarre? Is it Navarre?
There is a Navarre. There's also the... Yeah. Is it the Drunken Goose?
Which is the one that you did the Fenny meeting in?
I think that's the Drunken Goose. It's got like a low hanging canopy. That is really nice. Cool. It's really immersive to sit in there. I'd love to go there. I love Navarre anyway. Shout out Navarre. Big love Navarre. Everyone in our hall, well, some current, some ex-members, absolutely against Navarre. I love Navarre. And I'm not going to not talk about it anymore.
You're going to stand up.
I am.
Proud.
So that'd be good. Yeah, they've got really nice bars. Then I'm sure there's a bar in every nation, for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So
I think the Marcher one's quite a big one. The one at the very top of the field on the right-hand side.
I think...
I want to say the Bannered Mare, but it's not the Bannered Mare. That is one in Skyrim, for sure.
There is... The problem with that end of the field, which is Varushka and Marchers, is every time I go there, the pubs are always shut, and I just don't get it. I don't know when they're open.
Yeah, Varushka's always closed. Don't understand.
So,
Trying
I
to remember the
think
name. So
if
our
I
our friend our friend Watt is going to be in a pub at some point in the Marches, and I think it's something about a badger, the dog and badger.
so my Friday, I'm thinking I
Yes, sorry,
check
Matt.
in
Tell me
with.
about yours.
No, that's it's not much to talk about. I'm going to check in with Senator Rain, see if they need assistance. I'll put a crisp £1 coin on it that they'll say, "Now I'm good for the night," and then we can then hit the bars.
Cool.
We can check out.
You're gonna
I
you're gonna try and lock that in early on Friday.
Yeah. What?
Finding rain.
But the last few times I did Rainer. Yeah, I am really sorry, Rain. But I've called them Rain for ages because loads of people call them Rain, and they're called Rainer. And so
But
naturally, I say Rain.
but she did say it can be either or, I believe.
I think it's spelt Rain, Rane,
Mhm.
but pronounced Rainer. So
Yeah.
there we go. Normally I can catch them at Moot fairly. Like they'll say that because with Wintermark we have a meeting at the start, that time in like every other nation pretty much does, and like our senators will go on fairly early and be like, "Hello, we're the senator team. Come talk to us." So they'll be doing that, and then when they're done with it, I normally snag them and be like, "Hello."
Yeah.
And get a quick hey and a bit of a, "Do you need me? Want to talk about anything?" And then it's either yay or nay or
Yeah.
And then
which in my eyes that sounds like the perfect job as a proxy.
I think my take on it is I've just got to make myself available, and if they want to use me, they can use me. If not, then that's fine. So and then I normally start time in with a drink at the Artisans. So that's where I'll be at time in.
Yes, I do like that tradition, actually. It's not something I've done very often, but we definitely did it last time, and it was tasty.
So, I
think we drank a bottle of that mead within about 2 hours. Maybe even an hour.
The only thing I've noticed is I feel like the event before that, they had different range of drinks.
Oh, okay. Maybe they're just trying out some different.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they just get what they get. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to that. That'll be Friday, and maybe we can check out a few places for drinks.
Yeah.
Maybe we could go to Nabar or the silly Golden Goose Moose.
The Drunken Goose. I'm sure it's the Drunken Goose. I'm sorry, Navar, if that's wrong, but it's a very nice pub. There's also, I don't know if 2 Feet have a bar still. They used to do amazing cider. It's been a long while.
The Twisted Tree?
Twisted Vine. Twisted Vine?
There was a Twisted Tree at the Nabar. No, the Navar. There we go.
Naboo.
There was a year or two ago. Naboo.
Cantina.
Yeah, there was a couple of years ago, maybe before COVID.
Yeah.
So
cool. So Saturday, what's the Saturday plan? I hate making plans. Let's make this event just be whatever happens.
Oh, imagine. Yeah. I mean, I reckon let's get in the field and then we'll make our events predictions. But right now, we got a slight idea.
Yeah,
do you know?
I think it's a weird one because I'm basically Lucan is on a wind down this year, and I've got no real urge to do anything. I'm just going for the fun, which has basically been Lucan's prerogative the entire time, to be honest. So yeah, I've not got any huge, big plans for the next 2 events. Other than chill, have a good time, meet some new people.
Yeah, I think I want to set my game a bit more chill.
Yeah.
And move away from the I need to be doing something all the time to it's not the end of the world if I miss an event, for example. As me and Mark spoke about, I potentially look at I might end up missing an event next year or two, so I want to not be super bummed out about that. So that's where I'm at with it. So
I obviously having missed an event this year, leading up to it, it's like, this sucks. I'm not there. But really, quite honestly, I don't feel like I've missed out now.
I'm sure I'll feel really rubbish about not going. However, yeah, like you said, it's
if it means you get to experience some other stuff, mate, you'll appreciate it after, I think.
Exactly.
Remember how fun the first lead was that you did? It's a silly old time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's something fresh. And there's a few. There's always games out there. So yeah. Do we want to have a quick 5-minute break if that's doable, just so I can refresh my drink glass?
We can do. Have we got a lot more to go through?
Oh, I guess not. No, I guess not. You on about just calling it early?
Well, unless
early. We didn't have a time, did we?
No, we didn't. We really didn't talk about it at all. It's sort of just doing a natural thing. I don't know what else we want to cover before we go.
I did say. I remember when I made a promise we'd talk about the. No, I didn't. I was looking at the Winds of War. I've had a brief look at the Winds of War. I couldn't really. I was hoping to see some that were really spicy from a brief glance and in a Winter Marker's opinion. If there's anything interesting, or interesting to me, and I haven't seen much. I think again we were very lucky a few seasons back to have a load of stuff focused around Wintermark. So there's one with Lumi in it. Lumi's been mentioned in one of the.
I'll tell you what then. Let's have a 5-minute break, as I could do with a coffee anyway. And then in the meantime, anyone in chat, maybe if you got any more questions or things that you want to hear us chat about, you can drop them in the chat. We'll think about some things too, in case no one's got anything else they want to hear us talk about. And then we can just spend 15 minutes or so, chatting about that. Good. And then we'll come back. Plus, I can see if the BRB screen still works through YouTube. Let's find out.
BRB.
It does. We're back. I didn't go for a coffee in the end.
Oh.
I thought better of it because it's 9:20.
I did have a drink. I just got a water.
Nice.
So I guess to round off this, sort of a frothy stream, right? So
Yeah.
we've kind of spoken about the event, what we want to do at the event, and what we're excited for. I guess obviously this is now the start of, or about to be in a few hours, the start of LARP week. We're not far away from Monday morning. So I guess, I don't know, do you want to talk through your run up? Because obviously come Thursday morning, that will be the E3 vlog. So, you know, what's going to happen in these next 3 days for you?
God, I hate LARP week. So for me, I touched on it briefly earlier, but it's going to be a whole load of washing. Then I'm going to have to pack. I need to hoover the new foam sponge blocks that the bed's going to be made from in the car. I also need to get fuel. I need to get food. I need to get drink. Other than that, it's really staying in the car has really changed the way that I feel about turning up to a event, because it's just literally pull up, bed, ready to go, stuff's all there, done. It's very chill. So that's really taken away a lot of the stress of LARP week for me. I'm sure you feel the same probably with your van setup.
Absolutely. Yeah. The thought of, I think this is going to be the first event we've done it together where we're going to rock up on a Thursday. And because last event, I was on my own Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the event before you weren't there. So we're going to both be here this Thursday. And this, like I said previously, we're going to just rock up, park up, and, you know, maybe faff getting the bed set up, but then that's it. So
we've spent a long time setting up camps over the years, and to be at a point where it's just park up and go is a very nice feeling.
For me it is, but especially, like you said, same for you. Yeah,
especially for you, because you're the one. Well, I mean, for our camp specifically, you were bringing the gigantic tent and having to take it home and stuff, and that is a lot of work.
And back in the day, I used to have to load. So, how did I do it? I think I used to load it in the van every time, or load it in my car. I used to bring it in the car, and after every event, I'd have to take it out the car, and to get it out the car into where I stored it in my shed at home, I'd have to go. So I'm in like a mid terrace, and there's a terrace house, and there's a alley going through the middle of it. So I'd have to carry it through this tiny little alley, up to steps to my garden, then all the way to the top of my garden to dump it in the shed. And the stuff's heavy, and that was an absolute killer. And then last year, I think I just left it in the van. I'd stored it in the van, so it just meant I didn't have to do that little step. But it's still a lot of work to set up and take down. So now we're at a point where I'm not doing that. And obviously, then I had a tent on top of that, which I would put up for myself. So yeah, the fact we can just rock up, right? And
we haven't got to worry about any of that.
Yeah, that's what I enjoyed. It is slightly a bit more awkward being in a van because, you know, I can't just in my ridge tent I set up as a proper little bedroom. I had a table there with all my stuff on and stuff like that. So, whereas the van's a bit more restricted on space. Although I have just got a little table for the van. Like a little fold away. It's almost like a table. Do you know, like a lap tray table thing? So it's like one of them. I got it for free. So.
That's cool.
That's going to go in the van, so it gives me a bit of table space. But it's just nice. And again, at the moment, I've kind of got the van to myself, so I can literally have all my bed stuff there and roll out. And I'm looking at some more clothes storage for my. So at the moment, all my IC clothes are all in these big bags, whereas I've got some do you know those fold out They're little fabric boxes, and you fold them out, and then you put like the base in, and they kind of stay rigid.
Yes, we have some for the guinea pigs actually. Not for the
Yeah.
guinea pigs, but for their stuff.
So yeah,
Oh.
I've got like 4 or 5 of them. I don't know how big they are, but I'm thinking if they were big enough, I could put like all my icy kit in one, and then that can just slide under the bed. You know, just might maybe make my sort of storage stuff a bit easier to use.
What about the kind of like the see-through boxes that I have? They'd probably slide under quite nicely and stay rigid.
They do fit under there, but yeah, they do. They do fit under there.
Do you already have those?
I used to. I don't use them anymore. I've got one for all my sort of kit, like my icy stuff.
Oh, okay.
But I kind of want to I just want to make it a bit more homely. Rather than like having to climb over stuff all the time to get kit out, it'd be nice to just have it all sort of neat and accessible.
Yeah.
That's where I'm thinking about at the moment. So
yeah, fair.
Yeah, and then I want to I'm putting a light in the van. So I bought it all. I just need to wire it in and stuff. So that's possibly this week, which gives me a light easier than having to use my phone at night. So that's something I want to do this week. I wanted to put a radio in the van, but I've left it really last minute, so that's not going to happen. But maybe for E4, I'll use it.
Can I make a prediction? We're going to be sat here doing E4 Froth stream, and you're going to be like, I haven't done it.
Got to put a light in the van, yeah, and I want to put a radio in.
I'll do it in the long dark, and then we'll be sat here in winter.
Honest, it's going to be pushed to get it done for E4, mainly for money, but hopefully by E1 or whatever.
Yeah, maybe you could 3D print a radio or something.
Well, if only I could. If only that was physically possible.
There is one thing I need to do this week, and it is booked in for 1 PM tomorrow. That is a haircut.
Yes, I'm having a haircut Thursday morning.
Oh, Thursday morning, very fresh.
Yeah, so it's my neighbour who's a hairdresser, and I was able to call earlier, and I was like, "Can I have a haircut this week?" They're like, "Yeah." And I was like, "I'm about Thursday. That works." And they're like, "Yeah, I could do Thursday 8:30." So I was like, "Yes, please."
Oh God, can I do mine?
It's going to be extremely fresh.
I'll pop up and get mine done. Yeah.
On your way through.
Can you hold this camera as well while I do some filming?
Yeah. I need to vlog my haircut, please.
No, mine's getting done. I don't know what. I mean, mine is well on the way to probably, being buzzed off at some point in the next couple of years, probably, because it's getting pretty bad. I'm trying to grow the beard out now so I can have the beard and not the hair, probably. There's a if anyone's on Reddit, r/bold. It keeps popping up. I'm not part of it yet, but it keeps popping up, and it's like just people saying, "Do I need to cut my hair? Do I need to shave? Is it time?" And it's just a picture of their top of their head, and people are like, "Bro, it's time."
Please.
And every time I see it, I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to be posting here soon."
It comes to us all eventually.
Yeah, although it doesn't. Some people it doesn't.
Some lucky devils out there.
Yeah. Brahms was panicking, looking for a mirror, apparently, but I've taken one from the bathroom cabinet. This is a good size going bad. I assume you mean not the one out of the door of the bathroom cabinet.
I got a a camping mirror from the range. It's like I broke one and had to go buy another one. And it's just I've got it because I do face makeup. If anyone hasn't seen our latest Empire vlog where we're all suited booted. So I kind of need that mirror. So what else was I saying? So that's kind of we obviously addressed the haircuts, which is important, and our lead up to Thursday. So I think I got my shop's on the way. My shop's booked. That should be turning up tomorrow. I think I'm gonna go separately and buy 20 tubes of Smarties for the weekend. I
haven't had Smarties in years.
Yeah, I know. Amelia had a pack earlier, and I was just like, although I definitely have had Smarties fairly recently, but I haven't. Okay. What else is there? I think that's it. So
it's going to be a busy week, essentially. It always is.
I've got something I'm tied up in slightly on Tuesday night. unfortunately, I bought Diablo 4, and I feel like I want to play that all night tomorrow night. So that's going to chew into sort of LARP prep time, which is a big problem.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just have some common sense and be like, no, pack, get ready.
Nah. Got to live your life as well.
Yeah, so there's that. And then Thursday. So I guess, if we end it here, that's goodbye until the next time you see us will be the E3 vlog.
Well, unless you're at E3 and you bump into us, and then the next time you see us will be at E3.
Yeah, technically, yeah. So next time you see us on your screens will be the E3 vlog.
Yeah.
But please come bump into us at. I think we're going to put in the Discord, maybe see if we can meet up a few people in the Discord. We're definitely, I think, are we set in stone? We're going to go to the Forge Thursday night?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So
even if we have to sit outside in the rain?
We're going to try being the Forge Thursday night, so it'd be cool to chat to everyone and anyone.
Yeah, if it does rain, maybe we'll find somewhere with cover.
I mean, yeah, because at the moment I don't think we have much of an icy camp. I think we might have 1 or 2 tents up there, so... But also, I can't remember last time I sat and had a drink at the Forge. So
no, I can't.
Let's do it.
I'm well up for that.
Let's do it. Cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I hope everyone has a nice, relaxed week ahead of them, leading into Thursday, and everyone who's going to E3, I hope you will have a lovely E3.
Yeah, have a blinder, everyone. Don't be worried if it's raining or if it's muddy. You will still have an absolutely amazing time. And I'm just thinking about the times where it's been really muddy for us, and I've sat there thinking this is the worst. But I swear, afterwards at least, you'll think that was still amazing. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I don't think it's going to be as bad as
I think the weather looks... I'm not going to say it, in fact, because I'll jinx it. So I'm not going to say anything about the weather.
When I looked earlier, it didn't look great. But I don't think it's torrential rain. It's just going to be showers.
I feel like I'm not going to be worried at all.
No. We'll all get through it together. It'll be fine. But yes, we'll see you at E3. If not, we'll see you in the E3 vlog. Have a wonderful time. Much love. Come and hang out in the Discord if you're not already in there. We'll be hanging out in there. Nice. Bye.